Howdy folks and welcome. I hope this finds you well. Today we'll be talking about a classic video game, and probably one of the top video games of all time. And this is not hyperbole. I have played and reviewed a lot of games over my years, and Combat Evolved is one of the best put together ever. From its music to its visual design, narrative to action, Combat Evolved does so many things right. There are only a few games that merge all of these qualities so well that it becomes something more than a video game. It transcends the media. We will be playing through the whole entire game of Halo Combat Evolved to see how Bungie pulled off one of the greatest feats in media, creating a successful franchise, and why Combat Evolved caught the attention of so many people back in 2001. To do this, we'll be focusing on these categories: gameplay, sound, visuals, and narrative. If you have not played this game yet, I truly believe you should experience this for yourself. Go pick it up, play it, and then come back and see if we've had similar experiences. For those of you who have played previously and want to know if it still holds up, I can confidently say that it not only holds up, but it goes beyond my expectations. And if you're really up for it, there's a sketch comedy bit at the end. So without further ado, let's wake up the chief.
No, that can't be. Oh, those Covenant fools. They must have known. There must have been signs.
Slow down. You're losing me.
The Covenant found something. Buried in this ring. Something horrible. And now, they're afraid.
Something buried?
The
Where?
captain. We've got to stop the captain.
Keys? What
The
do we...
weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time. Get out of here. Find keys. Stop him. Before it's too late.
I cannot express how much I was blown away by playing the Anniversary Edition. Not only do the upgraded graphics do justice to more than a 20-year-old game, but being able to see what the original game looked like on a dime later on is honestly remarkable technology and art itself. The second thing that completely enthralled me throughout my experience replaying Halo for the first time in more than 18 years was the story. Bungie, you're geniuses. Think about this, it's 2000, you've never heard of Master Chief, Halo, or the Covenant, and when someone says Warthog, you go, from the Lion King? No, soldier, it's from Halo. You have no idea what's about to happen, and in comes this gigantic ship, a huge ring, and a chase. I mean, what a setup. I was off my seat.
One could have missed the hole we tore in subspace. They were waiting for us on the far side of the planet.
So, where do we stand?
Our fighters are mopping up the last of their recon picket now, nothing serious. But I've isolated approach signatures for multiple CCS-class battle groups. Make it 3 capital ships per group. And in about 90 seconds, they'll be all over us.
Well, that's it then. Bring the ship back up to Combat Alert Alpha. I want everyone at their stations.
Everyone, sir?
Everyone. And Cortana. Let's give our old friends a warm welcome.
I've already begun.
I love all the details they add to this conversation that never feels like exposition but needed information, like the Covenant ships being faster than humans. Halo does a great job with scale as well. If you couldn't tell you were on a big ship, this should inform you.
5th Platoon, secure airlocks on Deck 11. 14th Platoon, rendezvous with 22nd Tactical at Bulkhead Charlie 14.
Start. We are leaving this ship, Platoon, and engaging the Covenant on solid ground. When we meet the enemy, we will rip their skulls from their spines and toss them away, laughing. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Damn right I am. Now move it out. Double time.
See, you know nothing of this conflict, and if you didn't see any promotional art, then you could be fighting Furbies in close quarters. I joke, but Bungie did such a poignant job at building up this whole encounter. And then there's bringing Master Chief online. What can I say? This is iconic.
Blowing the pins in 5! Tube shows green. Cycle complete.
Sorry for the quick thaw, Master Chief. Things are a little hectic right now. The disorientation should pass quickly.
Welcome back, sir. We'll have you battle-ready stat.
It's a classic 2000s tutorial where it's much more of a controlled environment, which I enjoyed since you know an attack is coming and these guys are gallivanting around trying to see if you like inverted controls. It works really well.
Leave the self-diagnostics running at least. Oh god, they're trying to get through the door! Security! Intruders in the IO2!
Sam! Sam!
Oofta, as they say in Sweden.
This way!
Double oofta. There will be a lot of these moments in the campaign. If the music doesn't get your feet moving and your head bobbing, I really don't know what will.
Secure those blast doors. Move! Move!
This is beautiful chaos and so well orchestrated it blows my mind that this is from 2001. Seeing your fellow Marines laying wounded on the floor was jaw-dropping, and I didn't remember how visceral it was.
Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3, make that 4 kills. Sleep well?
No thanks to your driving, yes.
So you did miss me.
I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. Protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable, and that means you're leaving ship. Lock in a selection of emergency landing zones, upload them to my neural lace, and then sort yourself for a heart transfer.
Aye, aye, sir.
Cortana off this ship. Keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons research, Earth.
Turns out the Covenant can whoop our asses, and Captain Keyes has the bright idea to land the ship on this random object. I guess we don't have any choice since Keyes tells us there's a lot more at stake than an AI computer. More like our homeworld Earth and everything we know and hold dear sort of deal. I really enjoyed seeing what the original game looked like, especially since I didn't know how much my nostalgia was affecting my memory. One of the best parts about these kinds of remasters is the art design. For example, I love seeing these posters that were not there from the original, and it really builds out the world. I think it allows the artists to go deeper into the world when they could have in 2001 if they had the power to do so. At least that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about that subject. Anyways, we get our first gun, the pistol. Now, I don't know what generation Halo we're on now, but back in this game, the pistol was the best gosh darn thing a Marine could ask for when things hit the fan. Like a small sniper rifle. This thing hits hard.
The damage to the superstructure is extensive. I don't know how much more abuse the Autumn can take.
We fight our way through the ship and find the last lifeboat out of Shanghai. Oh, bud, I do remember this part.
Now would be a very good time to leave.
Punch it.
Aye, sir. We're disengaged, going for minimum safe distance.
We're gonna make it, aren't we, sir? I don't want to die out here.
Holy
Look.
cow, I had goosebumps, legit goosebumps. This is a spectacle. This is how you set up a story. This is how you deliver on a hero.
What is that thing, Lieutenant?
Hell if I know, but we're landing on it.
Fiona, she's been hit!
I knew it. The Autumn's accelerating. Keyes is going in manual.
Heads up, everyone, this is it. We're entering the ring's atmosphere in 5.
rather take a seat?
We'll be fine.
If I still had fingers, they'd be crossed.
Turns out it pays dividends to have an environmental protection suit. Obviously, Chief is going to have to pay some therapists to talk about this one after the tour. The thing I didn't remember, or I guess respect as a young kid playing, was how big the levels were. It's one of the grievances too that I had, since there were times where I felt like it was more the point of making a level feel longer rather than the sake of good gameplay or story. However, for a game back in 2001 to have such large areas with all the AI, it's quite remarkable. I love trying to be sneaky at the start, and the Covenant eventually finding me. Like, who are these guys? Seriously, I haven't read up on Halo lore, and going into this blind plus what I remember, I'll have a lot of questions. Lots of questions. Like, what the heck is this thing shooting raw energy into space? We find some Marines and defend this point. Great environmental storytelling too, with this detail of a downed escape pod. Halo Combat Evolved is actually really dark and gritty sci-fi, which, if you know anything about my channel, is something that I truly love. Halo gets it right in the fact that it plays off like a 90s action film, but the undertones in the narrative make it so much more than that. For now, we defend the point 3 times, and we get our first Warthog. This part of the gigantic levels is okay with me, since driving around on any of the vehicles in Combat Evolved is a lot of fun. We find some weird tunnels, and Cortana hacks into the Covenant's radio. Again, this area was big, but I don't really understand why. There weren't enemies or storytelling. It caught me off guard to the point where I probably should have braked a little bit harder.
Roger that! There he is!
We get the energy bridge online and find some encouraging news about more survivors. Still, no one was talking about who made these gigantic tunnels or why a floating ring is out here in space, but you have these trumpets blaring, and honestly those questions slipped from my mind so quickly. Sadly, the next 20-ish minutes was just me waiting around letting my AI partners shoot things. See, this is where the age does show a little. I know there would be more interactable or changing things happening in a modern game, but this is 2001, and honestly, it was refreshing just shooting stuff, even though sometimes in a bigger area it could feel a little lacking. We find the last of the Marines from the escape pods and get evac'd.
We should move out, Lieutenant, and then we'll need your help on a rescue mission.
Uh-oh, time for a rescue mission.
The enemy has captured Captain Keyes and are holding him aboard one of their cruisers, the Truth and Reconciliation. The ship is currently holding position approximately 300 meters above the other end of this plateau.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air? The Corps issued me a rifle, not wings.
There's a gravity lift that ferries troops and supplies between the ship and the surface. That's our ticket in.
Once we get inside the ship, I should be able to lock on to the tracking signal from Captain Keyes' neural implants.
I loved this level, and fighting the Covenant along the hillside with their turrets was a great mix of environment and gameplay. After finding our first hunters, we get beamed up. Hell yeah. So, I love the juxtaposition of the Covenant invading and docking your ship, and then you subsequently doing the same thing but on a covert scale. It was great seeing the differences and interesting similarities. See, we both have docking bays, right? Why do we hate each other? Anyways, we fight our way through the ship and rescue Captain Keyes.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this. Thanks.
After murdering what felt like a whole lot of Covenant, we finally get to the pods, and lo and behold, the guys are alive.
Yes, sir.
While the Covenant had us locked up in here, I overheard the guards talking about this ring world. They call it Halo.
One moment, sir. Accessing the Covenant BattleNet. According to the data in their networks, The ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind of weapon, one with vast, unimaginable power.
That's true. The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Wait, you speak their language? Also, they said the name of the game. No, seriously, it's so cool. And the old adage of humans will be humans, but in space, still works out, because everyone thinks about this Halo as only a weapon.
Whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
He who controls the base controls the galaxy!
Wait, what did Captain Keyes say? Is that what Rick and Morty were referencing? So, Keyes wants us to use Halo as a weapon since I guess he misses his ship. But I mean, you've never seen this thing and think you can pilot it? Well, we're a soldier and we're going to follow orders. Escaping the ship was a lot of fun too, and now having 4 levels with a lot of diversity in their size and combat, I was overjoyed by how good it felt playing this game in 2024. The gameplay is fantastic during these close and medium quarter moments, and you truly feel like the ultimate warrior. And Captain Keyes is as well.
That's it. The dropship is loose.
Everybody, mount up. Let's get on board. No need. I'll take this bird out myself.
Captain, hunters!
Hang on.
Nice one, sir!
Time for a little payback.
I love that line, and honestly, the thought of commandeering a Covenant vessel always gives me a smile. Plus, this cutscene is straight out of the 90s. I just learned how to be a getaway driver and get the gang out of danger kind of vibe. So I guess we're still about using this thing as a weapon. We assault what I assume to be the controls of said weapon, and are detoured to open the damn place up. This is where I want to talk about the level design a little bit. Halo Combat Evolved does a good job at reutilizing their assets, especially when it comes for maps. Again, I still hold a sort of grievance that at times I think the game relies too heavily on this. If you're thinking about it from the perspective of 2001, this is pretty remarkable, even though a lot of times you're retracing your steps. We descend farther into the control facility and find this.
Should activate the map. Analyzing. Halo's control center is located there. That structure appears to be some sort of temple or shrine, if I've interpreted this correctly. Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant installation.
Cortana to Captain Keyes.
The captain has dropped out of contact, Cortana. His ship may be out of range or having equipment problems.
I love that they hint about this religious aspect and don't focus too much on it. It creates that sense of mystery about the Covenant and this place that you don't get a lot nowadays because writers are too scared not to exposition dump. We get picked up and yeah, I'd be freaked out too.
Let's get moving. Foehammer, here are coordinates and a flight plan I've worked out.
Cortana, these coordinates are underground.
The Covenant did a thorough seismic scan, and my analysis shows that Halo is honeycombed with deep tunnels, which circle the whole ring.
I hope your analysis is on the money, Cortana. This Pelican won't turn on a dime.
Look on the bright side, Foehammer. The last thing the Covenant will expect is an aerial insertion from underground.
This game wins the medal for cool entrances. Whoever storyboarded this needs to be cheered.
Roger that. We'll be able to find our way to the control center from here.
Good luck. Foehammer out.
We shoot our way through some Covenant and wow, I completely forgot there was this snow canyon. I mean, I know the anniversary graphics are bringing this level to light, but still in 2001, this would have been remarkable. Plus all the variations on the main theme music, like these strings, my goodness, it's so powerful. It not only conveys a sense of urgency, but glory in your purpose. Then when you get into this real gritty fighting, you have the war drums and vocals. This is not random. This is called direction, and Halo's direction is so well focused, I'm surprised that it doesn't get even more awards or accolades for what it achieved back then. You have all this poignant and meaningful moments interspersed perfectly with the over-the-top action that everyone loves, like getting a tank. Oh my god, this thing was so much fun to drive. I felt like I was 9 again, maniacally laughing while blowing up all these Covenant. Thank god I didn't have access to online back then. Again, sorry, I'm a huge music lover, and this stuff is beyond words. It's like a mix of Ghost in the Shell and Fallout had a baby in space. From the drums and cymbals to the rhythmic bass and the weird wind synths, all on top of the machine guns blazing and rockets blasting from my tank, it was an orchestra for the ears. We fight wave after wave of Covenant over bridge and canyon, and I mean, it's an epic. We finally make it to the actual control center and install Windows 11. I mean, Cortana. Uh-oh.
You all right?
Never been better. You can't imagine the wealth of information. The knowledge, so much, so fast. It's glorious.
So, what sort of weapon is it?
What are you talking about?
Let's stay focused. Halo, how do we use it against the Covenant?
This ring isn't a cudgel, you barbarian. It's something else. Something much more important. The Covenant were right. This ring, it's Forerunner. Give me a second to access. Yes, the Forerunner built this place, what they called a fortress world, in order to... No, that can't be. Oh, those Covenant fools. They must have known. There must have been signs.
Slow down. You're losing me.
The Covenant found something, buried in this ring, something horrible, and now they're afraid.
Something buried?
The Captain. We've got to stop the Captain.
Keys?
The weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time. Get out of here, find keys, stop him. Before it's too late!
I love how Master Chief is like, what about the weapon, lady? And Cortana is like, bud, you darn messed up. Again, if you're going in blind, they've set up the enemy twice, and the first time they've knocked it out of the park. I guess Keyes went out looking for the weapon himself instead of, I don't know, letting his most powerful soldier take care of it, but whatever. We get Keyes' the last known transmission, and whoa, I was not expecting the different biome. And again, A+ for the environmental storytelling. With both ships being crashed, you know something sinister is going down. You know, looking at the spaceship and the human contraptions, this started to feel like another universe that I had just recently visited.
Hey, quit it. What's your problem, man?
Look, I'm not saying anything about copying, I just find it funny that like the humans are Terrans, that the alien race are shield-wielding aliens, and the Zerg, well, we'll get there. Descending into this temple, lab, whatever you'll call it, felt daunting and horrifying. Not many games get scale so well, but this and surprisingly Portal are two games that I will defend to my dying breath. They pull off scale like no other. I've never felt dread like I do in those two games, spiraling downwards, not knowing when you'll be able to start moving upwards towards your escape.
blow your brains out! Get away from me! Don't touch me, you freaks! I won't be like you, I'll die first! Find your own hiding place, the monsters are everywhere! Play dead! That's what I did! Play dead! They took the live ones. Oh god, I can still hear them. Monsters!
Oh, wow. Yeah, after seeing this, I would be freaked out too. And I am freaked out, because Bungie pulls another win, and completely puts in this random found footage storytelling that I was just cheering at this point. Developers do not do this anymore, especially big names. Is it just me, or is this just out of left field and it works 1000%?
Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something.
What do we have, Sergeant? Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met.
Yo, have you guys not seen Alien?
Hold still! Hold still! Let him...
We had our Terran, our Protoss, meet our Zerg. The Flood are honestly horrifying and will cause nightmares throughout the next couple of weeks. Plus, hearing my fiance squeeze the sponge, it sounds just like them. God, these little things are absolutely disgusting, and their bigger counterparts are even worse. I didn't even want to get close up to how ugly these deformed little shits are, and yes, I was genuinely scared of them back then, as I am of them now. We go Rambo on these critters and see what I mean about descending. We finally get an elevator up and meet up with another Marine group. Fighting together towards the evac point, we get stopped by 343.
Greetings. I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spark. Someone has released the Flood. My function is to prevent it from leaving this installation, but I require your assistance. Come, this way.
Chief, I've lost your signal! Where'd you go? Chief! Chief!
Isn't that their studio name? Wait, is that why they're 343? Oh my god, I would feel so... Let me know in the comments. So, this guy can just teleport us. Okay. I love how Chief is just... yeah. This part was interesting to me since 343 keeps dropping super cool world building tidbits, but I realized that sometimes the audio wasn't coming through fully, so I put on subtitles so we wouldn't miss any of it. Fighting through this hallway of what I'm guessing are containment fields for the Flood is striking and again shows the player not only do we have no idea about the universe we're currently in, we have no idea of its history. The Flood are also a great opponent, coming in 3 sizes, well I guess 4 if you count the small ones. You have your flappers, and these things just creep me out. You have your soldier Flood, typical grunts of the litter, even if they can use rocket launchers. There's another one that I call the ragdoll. Every time a grenade goes off near them, they ragdoll somewhere funny. Fighting the Flood is one of those moments that never left my gaming memory, and I'm so excited to see how they pull off the AI in Halo 2, but that will be for another day. We finally get to the index and 343 tells us that we have to get the control room and activate Halo to defeat the Flood.
Mass and cognitive capability is a potential vector. Is something wrong?
No, nothing.
Splendid, shall we? Reclaimer? happen.
Oh, really?
Cortana.
I've spent the last 12 hours cooped up in here watching you toady about, helping that thing get set to slit our throats.
Hold on now. He's a friend.
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum? Do you have any idea what that bastard almost made you do?
Yes. Activate Halo's defenses and destroy the Flood, which is why we brought the Index to the control center.
You mean this?
A construct in the core? That is absolutely unacceptable.
Sod off!
What impertinence! I shall purge you at once!
You sure that's a good idea?
How dare you? Oh!
Do what? I have the Index. You can just float and sputter.
Enough! The Flood is spreading. If we activate Halo's defenses, we can wipe them out.
You have no idea how this ring works, do you? Why the Forerunners built it? Halo doesn't kill Flood. It kills their food. Humans, Covenant, whatever.
I love that Master Chief knows exactly where we are. It's also great to hear the dialogue between two supercomputers, especially since their parameters are so different. Oh, a betrayal? Nice. See, I think this is where people most fear AI. 343, I guess, is just doing his job since the Flood have been opened and the protocol is to blow up the galaxy. Good God. So it wasn't really to kill the Flood, but to kill everything the Flood could take over. Now that is freaking dark. It was something I didn't understand as a kid, but quite honestly, it's really cool that Bungie could make a game that was fun for younger people, as well as adding so many motifs and undertones that older people of sci-fi and any genre would enjoy.
Need to go right now.
Last time you asked me if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your plans, my answer is not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
Get us out of here.
If you are unwilling to help, I will simply find another. Still, I must have the Index. Give your construct to me, or I will be forced to take her from you.
That's not going to happen.
So be it. Save his head. Dispose of the rest.
Now, my jaw was on the floor knowing sort of the events of the next game. Chief probably should have done the ultimate sacrifice, right? What are your thoughts? We get another sick remix of the main theme, and I don't know what kind of music this is called, but it influenced me so much.
These pulse generators that amplify Halo's signal and allow it to fire deep into space. The power levels are enormous. Can't even begin to calculate the pulse's range. So, if
Plus, Cortana has an idea on how to deal with the Flood, blowing up the Autumn, the ship we came to Halo on. Cortana tells us that the nuclear reactors on the ship could be enough to explode the ring. But we need time. To get that finite resource, we have to disable the pulse weapons or generators to delay the whole process. Now, this was probably my least favorite part of the game, but only for one reason, and it was me spending 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get to Generator 3. Generator 3, as it clearly tells you, is up there. There is a red arrow. However, unlike the other canyons you just traversed, there is not a Banshee. I kid you not, I just kept going back and forth trying to figure out the path they wanted me to go. This was the path. Now, I don't need bright lights or arrows, even though the game does give you a lot of that, and I appreciate it. The reason why I think I'm so big about this is A, it's like the only time I got angry with the game, and B, I know this got others stuck. So what you actually have to do is fly your ghost all the way back and get it over the cliff. No environmental, here's a ramp or Covenant ship set down over there. No, it's just there and you have to maneuver your ghost off of this rock. I don't know, after all of the smooth gameplay, this just felt so out of place. Remember, if this is really one of the only things that I'm nitpicking, we have ourselves a classic. We get to the final generator and...
Let's find a ride and get to the captain.
No, that'll take too long.
You have a better idea?
There's a teleportation grid that runs throughout Halo. That's how the monitor moves about so quickly. I learned how to tap into the grid when I was in the control center. Unfortunately, each jump requires a rather consequential expenditure of energy.
Something tells me I'm not gonna like this.
But I'm pretty sure I can pull it from your suit without permanently damaging your shields. Needless to say, I think we should only try this once.
Do it.
The Covenant network is absolute chaos. From what I've been able to piece together, their leadership ordered all ships to abandon Halo when they found the Flood, but they were too late. The Flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. The Covenant are terrified the Flood will repair the ship and use it to escape from Halo. They've sent in a strike team to neutralize the Flood and repair the ship for immediate departure. I've got a good lock on Captain Key's CNI transponder signal. He's alive, and the implants are intact. There's some interference from the cruiser's damaged reactor. I'll bring us in as close as I can. Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry.
Repair and escape? Dude, these Flood guys do not mess around. Wait, how did Keyes get on the Covenant ship again? So, look where we're at now. Not only did we have the Covenant invade our ship at the start of the game and we returned the favor, but now we're back when stuff has hit the fan. This is how you reuse assets in an effective way, both storytelling and visually. We get to Captain Keyes and yeah, this is when I knew I had to write about Halo being a true sci-fi classic.
No human life signs detected. The captain, he's one of them. We can't let the Flood get off this ring. You know what he'd expect. What he'd want us to do. It's done. I have the code. We should go.
Not only does the captain have neural implants that make it possible to use the Pillar of Autumn, we get this human transformation from an alien organism. Too bad he didn't get the Sarah Kerrigan treatment. I was blown away by this because it shows how diabolical the Flood can be, and thinking of the atrocities if they spread, oof, Master Chief, no hesitation. Now having everything we need to blow up the Autumn and Halo, with keeping the rest of the galaxy intact, we zoom our way over to the Autumn. Sorry, but if this doesn't evoke any emotion in you, I don't know what will. Or tell me, because if this isn't it, I really want to know what floats your visual and auditory boats. Oh, Master Chief.
It'll hold.
We're not gonna make it.
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up! You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Again, he's not just some soldier. There is nuance to his actions and a kind of humor, which I appreciate. Getting back to the Autumn was again one of those moments in gaming that I truly felt like I had been on the journey and it was almost over. Fighting through the Autumn, thinking about how much this game had influenced my life, from its striking visuals to its specific sounds and epic music, made me tear up. And yet, I did find comfort in refinding the series. We get to the head of the ship, but it wouldn't be that easy, would it?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, really.
Oh, hell.
Ridiculous! That you would imbue a warship's AI with such a wealth of knowledge? Weren't you worried it might be captured? Or destroyed?
He's in my data arrays, a local tap. I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine's shields?
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps, but why? Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, sentinels!
Yeah, you son of a bitch, I'm in. I think after this point, I'm going along with Chief no matter what he does. We make it to the reactors and cause some chaos.
Possesses far too much today.
That did it! The engine's gone critical. Based on the current rate of decay, we should have 15 minutes to get off the ship. We don't have much time. We should move outside and signal for evac. Accessing schematics. There's a service lift at the top of the engine room. It leads to a Class 7 service corridor that runs along the ship's dorsal structure. Hurry!
Everything okay?
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing. We have 6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now! Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't breathe.
With the reactors destabilized, we gotta get the hell out of Dodge. This might be one of my favorite levels ever. Whoever got this greenlit to have an epic car race trying to avoid nuclear destruction all in 6 minutes, well, this is what makes lasting memories. Weaving and dealing past Covenant forces, the music in the background, and the inevitable nuclear disaster we were about to cause, I was smiling the whole way. This is what action games should be. High octane, smart storytelling, breathtaking visuals, immersion, intensive audio.
Wait, stop! This is where Fohammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
Cortana to Echo 419. 2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again, evade.
I'm hit! Mayday! Mayday! There's one button to shut the hell! I can't hold her! I can't hold her!
Echo 419! She's gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows 1 longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
Oh, wow. They did not write this stuff in. They did their due diligence up until the last level. In a way, this ending sequence is also great because it gives the player some time to think about what has just transpired in a short time, and hopefully ask so many questions. And that's the question we had at the beginning, wasn't it? Or statement, I guess. Bungie not only made one of the best games ever made, but they did the most important part by instilling a question in all of us. What happens next? That is how you create a story, that is how you create a character, and that is surely how you create a franchise. When developers pay attention to each facet in the game and intertwine them rather than have them separate, you get Halo Combat Evolved. No one element overshadows the others. They all work in tandem. Look, I'm not hip to what Halo has become in recent years, and only play custom games with friends occasionally. But I am sad that Halo doesn't have the same cultural reverence that it once did. Maybe one day it will return, but for now, I cannot wait to see where they go with Halo 2.
We're cutting it close! Shut them down. We'll need them later. Fancy a look?
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do. For Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo. It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
Seeing this scene now with all the AI stuff, it's really interesting hearing an AI justify death and destruction. Yes, Cortana is right. I think we did do the right thing. But we are just one soldier and an AI computer. Thank you so much for watching. It brings me such joy to hear your experiences with the games that I cover, and having a dialogue between each and every one of you means more than you know. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stay a while and listen. If you enjoyed the video, comment down below about your favorite part of Halo Combat Evolved, click that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you really enjoyed the video, check out my channel. There's something there for everyone. I make sure of it. And as always, see you next time.
Sleep well?
Actually, thank you so much for asking, Cortana. It's been a while.
So you did miss me.
You could say that. It's been so many years. What are the odds that you're still the same?
With those odds, I'm content with 3, make that 4 kills.
What was that?
It must have been one of their boarding parties. I'd guess an antimatter charge.
What do you mean? Are we safe here? What are the other options around town?
Defensive option.
Oh, it's always defenses with you.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
I mean, you invited me on this date.
Aye, aye, sir.
I didn't mean it like that. Oh, come on, Cortana.
The Autumn will continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate a landing sequence.
Wait, you call yourself the Autumn? One more chance.
Yank me.